He was seconds away from losing everything. The papers were ready. The pen was in his hand. At exactly 8 a.m., the billionaire everyone once admired was about to sign his bankruptcy, until a quiet voice stopped him. "Sir, I think there's a mistake on page 3. Before we continue, make sure to like this video and subscribe, because this story will remind you that sometimes, miracles come from the most unexpected people." Just a year ago, Daniel Hartman was the name everyone admired in the business world. Smart, confident, and generous, until a sudden market crash wiped out his company. Overnight, he went from a powerful CEO to a man drowning in debt. Everyone he trusted, his partners, his investors, even his closest friends, walked away. But in the middle of that chaos, one person never stopped showing up. A cleaning lady named Maria. She never spoke much, but she always greeted Daniel with a small smile, even when his world was falling apart. That morning, Daniel sat in his office, exhausted and broken. The lawyers had prepared the final bankruptcy documents. All he had to do was sign, and everything he'd worked for would be gone. He didn't even notice Maria quietly tidying the shelves beside him. As he flipped through the papers one last time, she leaned closer and hesitated. "Sir, forgive me," she said softly, "but this number doesn't look right." Daniel frowned. "What number?" She pointed to a small column buried in the fine print. The numbers didn't add up. One of the debt amounts was repeated, once as an expense and again as a liability. It was a clerical error, but a massive one. Daniel's lawyer double-checked and froze. She was right. That mistake meant millions. Enough to change everything. In disbelief, Daniel reviewed the document again and again. His hands shook. If he had signed just seconds earlier, his entire company would have been gone forever. Tears filled his eyes. "You just saved my life," he whispered. Maria smiled shyly. "I just did my job, sir." But Daniel knew it was more than that. It wasn't just her sharp eye, it was her kindness. The only person who still cared enough to look closely when everyone else had given up. Months later, Daniel rebuilt his company. And the first thing he did was promote Maria, not as a cleaner but as head of internal operations, the one who made sure no mistake ever slipped through again. When asked why, Daniel simply said, "She didn't just spot an error. She saw me when the whole world stopped looking." So remember this, never underestimate the people around you. Sometimes the smallest voice can make the biggest difference.